Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with our League of Nations series here, coming up against Mexico in the first game of the episode. Falling back a little bit in the table, I believe we're in fourth place as of this game. Dropping points in that previous episode hurt us a little bit, so we want to make sure that we do come back stronger in this episode, making sure basically that we can get up and start challenging with Spain and Germany. Obviously, we're going to need them to drop points as well as France if we are going to jump back into that top 2, top 3 placing that we want to be in. So until then, it's going to be a little difficult getting there, but I think we're definitely capable of doing so. So coming up against Mexico, I really didn't know what to expect. They're a team that is obviously strong in their attack, not so strong in their defense, and have a pretty decent midfield. So I wasn't like I said, wasn't really too sure how strong of a team I was going to come up against. But the first half, pretty even. A couple chances for the both of us, but nothing really that I was actually going to turn into anything. So reason why you're not seeing highlights in the first half of this game. A little bit I guess we almost had an opportunity right there right before halftime, but ended up not getting the opportunity to actually capitalize on that because the whistle ended up going. So for this game, and I think the next 2 games as well, I put Tevez in that central mid, center attacking mid spot, just to kind of see how he would play, because I've had difficulties with players in that position recently. Pereira's not really been doing it for me. I'm not a big fan of him as a player. Obviously, every time I've been playing Pastore, he's been getting red cards and then suspended for 2 games. So he's out of the question. He won't be playing. As you guys see, a beautiful opportunity for them, just smashing it straight at my keeper, and he comes up with a massive save for us. But so I figured Tevez would probably be the best option to put in that center attacking mid. He's a very strong player, decent height, not the biggest guy, but not the shortest guy either. Strong passing, strong shooting, long shots are incredible. So I figured he's probably my best bet to go in. As you guys see right there, we actually end up getting an injury, and that player is Lionel Messi. Playing out on the right wing, he went back on to get the ball. Defensively, ended up getting his ankle stepped on, and I think it was into his ankle. It was either his ankle or he ended up like twisting his knee or something. But he's going to be out for a month, I believe. I believe it's going to be 4 weeks that he's out, and that's actually 8 games because there's 2 games per week. So that is massive. We lost a massive player for a very long period of time. So it's going to make things a little more difficult for these next couple weeks. We had an opportunity there coming in from the left from Tevez, but just wasn't able to really get any clean shots. I kept having to go for like long balls and everything like that, just trying to get some sort of shot on goal just to keep things interesting basically. But this just was not a game that was going well for me. I couldn't figure out ways of breaking down their defense. And as you guys have seen, they've had a couple opportunities themselves, but nothing that was really developing. It was just a really strong midfield battle and defensive battle from the both of us. So you know, you can only do so much. Whenever things just aren't going your way, you just have to make sure that you get out of the game with a draw. And as you guys can probably tell, they went on defensive, and I really wish we would have gone down there for a penalty. Di Maria actually managed Carlos Tevez rather was at the edge of the box. He wanted to pass in, but Di Maria ended up just getting wrapped around by that player. So a little disappointing not to pick up the penalty again. Probably could have got a foul for that player about kicking us in the face. Ended up not getting the foul there either. And for like the last opportunity of the game, it's going to end up being a corner for us. And I want you guys to pay attention to this hit that I actually end up pulling off with Di Maria. First, I just kind of wanted to see if I could bring more players in the box by putting it on all-out attack. It ended up not working out that way. But the ball falls to Gaetan and then to Di Maria. Di Maria hits it first time with his left foot, and that ball almost curled in. And I'm going to pause it here and then show you guys the replay, because it looks a little further off, obviously, now that you watch the replay, but this ball could have honestly gone in. The way he wrapped his foot around that, the ball ended up curling pretty quickly and almost ended up going into that corner. That would have been the best goal I would have ever scored in FIFA, period. But a little disappointed not to score there, but it's not a big deal either way. The game is going to end in a 0-0 draw, which is disappointing because, like I was saying, we don't want to be dropping any more points in the league. This isn't a good time for us to be dropping points in the league. Obviously, we saw the big games against the big name squads coming up in the next few episodes, but we want to make sure that we're getting as close in that top 3, top 2 as possible, so that when we do go up against them, we can grab all the points we need and hop into that first place area that we want to be in for the second half of the season. So I believe we only have one more episode of the first half of the season, and then obviously we'll have another few episodes after that to finish out the season, and it's definitely going to be an exciting finish. There's a lot of teams in the running for that top, like I would say top 8 is pretty close, and it's definitely going to get a lot closer once the big teams start playing each other. So it's definitely going to be fun to see how things break down. But obviously with Messi out of the game, I decided to bring Gaetan onto the left and then put Di Maria at his native right wing position, just to kind of see how it would feel. Honestly, I like Di Maria more at that left wing position than I do the right. So it's a bit weird. I don't really know who I would play there. I guess I could bring Lamela in. I'm not a big Lamela fan, partially because I'm an Arsenal fan, but partially because I've never really enjoyed playing with him in this game. I think he works better as a center attacking mid. But in this game against Russia, as you guys can tell, another first half that really just was a little disappointing, a little boring. Couldn't really find ways to break down their team. They weren't really getting many opportunities themselves either. I think they had a chance like within the first 10 minutes, but other than that, didn't really have many opportunities to take the lead either. So game goes into the second half at 0-0. As you guys saw, Carlos Tevez is again playing in that central midfield role. We actually end up changing the formation in the next game, but here we end up getting a free kick in a very good position, and we're going to have Aguero step up to the spot, and he's just going to bang this in. It's just a beautiful free kick, beautiful placement. Always make sure you leave a little bit of that gap to the right or to the left of the defender that you see on the screen, and just put barely any power over it and just let it barely go over the top. Obviously, if the line ends up jumping, then you're not going to get that free kick working that way. Sometimes it's better to do a power free kick from that position, but we get one more opportunity here. I don't know what exactly happened with that penalty, if his foot got stepped on or something, but he completely choked the shot, ended up getting a penalty for us. I overcharged this way too much with Sergio Aguero, ended up hitting the bar, and the game stays at 1-0 at the 85th minute. So a little disappointing not to score right there. And then this game just gets really scrappy from there. Neither one of us know how to pass. We're passing all over the place, passing to each other's team. Things are just going really bad at this point. But as you guys saw, 10 shots for us, 4 shots to Russia. But you know, in FIFA, you give them one opportunity and they can score off of it, and then you end up at a nil, or as a draw rather than a win. So always have to make sure you're staying at the top of your game, regardless of how many shots or how much you feel like you're dominating the game. Another opportunity for us to score there from our central midfielder. Still not able to grab a goal. So this game is going to end in a 1-0 win. So things are going better now. Obviously, we have 3 points in the episode so far with one game left. Definitely working our way back up in the table. And I think at this point, Spain and Germany dropped points multiple times in this episode, and I think both of them ended up losing a game in the same week that we won. So it ended up letting us move up in the table a little bit. But as I'm saying that, looking at the results, trying to see what it said, Mexico beat Hungary and a couple other good results there. But as you guys see, I'm going to end up changing. I was thinking about just changing the lineup because I wanted to see what players could play where. Ended up wanting to bring Dybala in, looking at that central attacking mid position. Wasn't too sure what I wanted to do, so I actually ended up changing up the formation and moving to a 4-5-1 attack. The thought process there being, we have a decent defense and we haven't been struggling with defense too much, but we haven't been able to put all of our star players on the field at once, and I'm missing out on playing with a lot of players in the squad, like Dybala, like Higuain, like Pereira if we end up bringing him into the squad. A lot of players that could definitely be in the team, we definitely wanted to make sure we put in the squad. So end up putting Aguero at the left center attacking mid position, Carlos Tevez at the right center attacking mid position, Dybala out on the left mid, Di Maria on the right mid, and then we bring Higuain at the central striker position. Obviously that'll change a little bit once we get Messi back into the team, but For now, I think this is the best lineup that we can definitely put out to make sure that we're scoring goals and not struggling with picking up points anymore in this league. So coming up against Switzerland, another team that, you know, they don't have massive name players, but they have good players all the way around. They have Inler, Shaqiri obviously being a big one. Zaka is also an incredible central midfielder. Higuain actually managed to grab a goal really early on here, though, in the 14th minute, just working his way around the defenders. The defender tried to play a little bit too man-to-man with him, and he was just able to run around the defender and just slot it home past the keeper. So giving us a lead early on into the game definitely put us in a comfortable position. And then here in the 24th minute, De Jure actually ends up coming and tackling us in the box. The ex-Arsenal man gets a yellow card and gives away a penalty. I give it back to Aguero. Let him redeem himself for the mistake in the last game with hitting the post. Ends up charging it a little bit less this time, but still putting it in a high enough position to where the keeper cannot get it because he dove too low, but in the right direction. So we end up taking a 2-0 lead there going into the end of the first half. There's one more opportunity for us here, but De Jure is actually able to outbody us. Tried to slide around him to get the ball, but ended up sliding a little too far in. And this first half is going to end at a 2-0 draw. So definitely feeling comfortable going into the second half, especially coming off of that victory in the last game. I knew it was definitely going to be important for us to take control of this game, get another 3 points, and end the episode of 6 points and move up in the table. I need to start showing you guys the results of the other games more, because obviously it's very important how things are playing out in the table, and I'm definitely going to be doing that in the next few episodes, making sure that you guys can just, you know, see the table, see how the results are going in the middle of games, at the end of games, just to make sure that, you know, the full story is being told basically. But here in the 62nd minute, they were actually able to grab a goal back with Shaqiri. Had me a little worried, but not too much. It was kind of a fluky goal. I just kind of ended up giving him a little too much room. They grabbed a goal back, so you know, it is what it is, but I was still feeling confident. This game, again, like the previous game, was starting to get a little scrappy. We were just passing the ball to the wrong players. We were passing it to each other, just not playing smart and just giving away the ball way too many times, but so were they. So it just ended up turning into a complete and utter, horror show basically. Neither one of us knew how to play. We both ended up forgetting how to play football, how to play soccer, however you want to word it, but just completely forgot the fundamentals of passing and just completely blew this game out of the water. Luckily, we had the 2-1 lead, so we didn't have to worry about it too much. They had a few players forward, but they weren't really playing ultra attacking or anything like that, so they were playing the ball forward. They were honestly trying to do a little bit of route one, but without having too many players forward, so it really didn't work out for them. And the game ends up going down to a 2-1 victory for us, giving us the lead and victory of this game, and moving us into second place actually in the league, because as I said, Germany and Spain both dropped points. So the table is much closer now. There are 3 teams tied on equal points, and that is Argentina, Spain, and France are all tied on points, with a lot of teams really close to that. And Germany is actually really close in first place, that we can actually take over that in the next episode. So these next few episodes are definitely going to be interesting to watch. So make sure you guys subscribe to keep up with the series. Make sure you don't miss any of them. If you guys haven't seen any of the previous episodes, make sure you check back on those. But that is going to be where this episode comes to a close. So if you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later.